host, Neal Mitchell.
Alrighty, I think I'm alive now and going here. I must apologize for the lateness. My OBS multi-platform just keeps crashing every time I tried to start it. I don't know what's going on. I guess it don't like me. But Dr. No's saying it was his aura that was causing it to fail earlier. Wasn't that right?
Absolutely.
I don't know if they can hear you or not, but you might need to speak up. It's one I moved everything around in the bunker here, trying to figure it all out. So we're live from Region FEMA 6, and we're going to talk about this namby-pamby BS about gun control tonight. Aren't you all a little tired of it? I'm tired of hearing about how they're wanting to come down on us. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. Now, since my OBS multi-platform crashed, I lost all the information that I was going to share with you all tonight to an extent, so I got to reverb everything somehow. But we're just going to start it from, hey, I'm a guy, you're a guy or girl, and Dr. No over here is a doctor,
I'm a guy.
He's a guy. He says he's a guy. And he's a pro-gun, aren't you not?
Incredibly so.
Incredibly so, which is good, because we don't need no namby-pamby doctors out there that can't defend themselves while they're trying to surgically fix you or whatever you're going to do. So anyway, let's look at this from perspective. Now, y'all remember, if you hadn't seen my prior videos of our illustrious president and his gun control, I have to laugh because white people would think that he has total say-so of what the hell happens in our constitutional government is beyond my understanding. I'm a constitutionalist, and if you don't believe it, ask me. I'll tell you. I'm a constitutionalist. And I believe in our rights to keep and bear arms. And it cannot be infringed. I don't care what person or matter of government you can throw or bestow upon me. I have a right, a fundamental right, as an American up front to keep and bear my arms. And that's what I'll do till the death. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not trying to say, hey, I want to kill everybody. I'm just saying that I will defend my right till they pry my cold dead fingers from my firearm, and that's just the way I feel about it. Dr. No over here, I don't know, you feel the same way, don't you?
Pretty much.
There you go. And anybody else listening probably thinks the same way, except for those of you that don't. And I don't really have much say to you people, except where you can go where the sun don't shine. But let's look back on this last week or so we've had on this business about gun control since the president did his first of the year address, putting his little CS grenade there around his eyes and setting it off and doing a little tear for everybody about gun control. Dr. No, I want to ask you these questions. What was your first thought when you saw the president addressing the American people about this executive order threat? And I'm going to call it a threat because it was a threat. I mean, only a dictator and a tyrant would threaten his people with an order to disarm, as far as I'm concerned. Now, how about you, Dr. No? I'm just going to give you about 2 minutes here on the floor about what you feel about gun control and the president's thought process on it while I set up this here. So, if you would.
I'm not sure I could fill in 2 minutes, but my first feeling was exasperation. Like, here we go again. To my knowledge, all the new gun control ideas and plans and orders will have absolutely nothing, will affect the bad guys to no extent. It'll only affect law-abiding citizens. In a nutshell, I mean, gun control, it's like saying person A here is a terrible driver. They're a menace to society on the road. So to keep them from hurting anyone, we're going to take away person B's car keys.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now I can kind of see that to a point. I mean, you got a guy getting drunk at your house on New Year's night, and you're worried about him, hurting himself on the road. You would, of course, you might say, "Hey, dude, give up your keys." But that's his. You're not giving up his license or his right to drive. They say it's a privilege, which I still have. I grapple with that stupidity. That's just government thumbing, as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to know why I can't get this here to go up. But, oh, there we go. I got something happening here on my computer. Okay, I'll open that link up and go from there. The protecting people. Of course, you're taking a responsibility at that point, and because that person has lost his cognate responsibility, or he may be concerned about it as well. That's why he surrenders his keys in the first place. You see parties, people have a hat, they throw the keys in. And that's understandable. People are not stupid, but the government thinks you're stupid. The government thinks you're an idiot. The government thinks that anybody out there other than themselves are idiots. Now, I'm a human being. Dr. No, are you not a human being?
To my knowledge.
Okay, everybody that has a paycheck from the United States government, are they human beings? Assumably so. So therefore, they have the same problems that I would have or you would have. They're no better than you or me. They're not higher level than you or I. They put a pants on, the pants on one leg at a time. They bleed red just like we do. They feel, Now, why they feel, most of them, that I can see through this liberalistic thought process, the socialist attitude, they think they can dictate to us. But yet they have the same problems we've got. If they're to defend themselves in their own home, how would you expect a liberal or an anti-gun person to handle that situation? Dr. No, what would they do? What would they do?
What would they do to defend themselves?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. Because,
well,
I mean, it's no slam on the police, but it's been said over and over and over again. When seconds count, the police can be there in minutes.
Yeah, don't have a minute to lose. That's understandable, and that's one of my reasonings behind. You can't trust a law enforcement officer to be there hovering over you every moment of every second of the day with a gun, holding onto his gun by his side above your head while you're doing your daily chores in your own home, worried about someone breaking in. Someone breaks in. I mean, can we afford to have that type of luxury, to have that type of security? No.
And it's not a criticism of the police force.
Absolutely not.
Most police officers are good people, and they do the job the best they can, but they cannot be everywhere at all times.
Oh, they think and feel the same way I do or you do about it. They would prefer you protect yourself. I mean, they would. I don't know of any cop that would want to go in to a situation where he has to pull his gun out and go blazing into it.
Most would not.
I'm thinking he might be glad that it's already been done and said by the time he shows up. Yeah. Why would he want to engage? So he might not be able to go home that evening. He might be, hurt, So anyway, like I said, I had my OBS break down on me a little while ago, and I've had trouble with it. If anybody out there is listening, they know anything about this OBS platform, I'm working this off of a laptop. I'm shoestring budget. I'm trying to build it up, and I'm doing that, and I'm trying to figure out how to set my settings up on my OBS. So if anybody knows anything about OBS platform, give me a holler. Email me back, and let's have some email correspondence and help me out with this, and let me figure it out. I've watched some of these crazy YouTube videos on how to do it, and they don't know no more than I do. They bring up stuff and say, "Oh, I don't know what this is for, so I just do this with it instead." They don't know nothing no more than I do. So anyway, let me come over here and bring it up here to my We going to give me, give me a few words that might make sense out of this.
Um, the words of any politician, regardless of they they're just not the word of God.
Right. No, they're not. They're not. They're nothing close to it. I don't know what's going on with this camera. I'm having.
Taking it back.
Well, yeah. I mean, what? I'm just these. It's like it's like the Doctor No. He's a clinical psychologist, and I'm guessing off this top. He's probably thinking right now that the inmates have taken over the asylum because that's what this seems like. I mean, it's just not. What are these people thinking? I mean, try me. If put me in power. If I did that, what would y'all think of? I mean, you would have if a man on the street right now in a small town did exactly what these people here, this Obama and this Lynch and this Munzo person are doing. If we were to even try to do that in a small town in the United States, they'd have us arrested and incarcerated. So why is it getting? Why are we letting them get away with it in Washington? That's that's my point. I mean, what is going on with our society if we're allowing the top dogs to do this crap, and us little dogs down here, if we even try to do something like that, they throw the book at us. You know, I mean, it's like these professors, in these colleges teaching this evolution, and they know it's a damn lie, and they know that if they keep it up, they got the tenure. They're going, regardless, they're going to keep their job regardless how bad it is. I mean, that's how I'm seeing this, with Washington. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's move through this a little more here. It's going to be a different show tonight. I had to change my whole plan up tonight, man. I'm sorry, folks. I had this big old thing going, but it's live. It's live. What I could could you imagine an FBI right now with J. Edgar Hoover? I know he's dead, but if if they can keep this going all the time, they would just pick him up, mummify him, and stick him in a corner, and walk up to him every day and ask him what he wants. You have to do what he says. He just wants to make sure this continues. I mean, it's beating a dead horse if they continue a process that doesn't work. It'd be like, let's say, we found out that the Model A Ford is a better vehicle. So we're going to bring that back, and everybody's gonna start driving Model A Fords again. No matter what, across the board, we're all gonna start driving Model A Fords, no matter what. I mean, that's the thinking. It's just, I know it sounds redundant and stupid and silly, and it is. And that's my point I'm trying to make. It just
guy's harmless. It just does not click.
Right, right. Well, you're correct. I mean, that's kind of like what's going on with the BLM right now, and this stuff that happened, up in, was it Idaho? Where was that at before? Not up here in Oregon now, but before it was the Bundy,
Nevada.
Nevada, and same situation. The federal government jumping in the middle of it, telling ranchers you can't have your stuff, basically stealing their property away from them, so they can give the property up to foreign interests. This is what this amounts to, bar none, bar none, and it's hypocrisy. And we're talking generations of people taking care of the land. First feds come in, beat down the Native American population, throw them out. Over time, the citizenry, come in and take up land rights and stuff, and here you are today with what you got going. Of course, some of the tribes got some of the land back through the years, but who's managing it? The government. What's happening to it? Nothing. You've heard these stories. The vegetation is overgrown so much it's not even taken care of correctly. The population for the wildlife is askew because they're not being managed correctly. They were talking about up in Oregon up there. Even the equipment that the Fed government had sitting there for the land management itself was all broke down or not being used. It's just sitting there. They're not using it. And so we don't have the funding. Well, okay, you don't have this funding. Why are you even bothering with it? These private citizens are there. They are the stewards of the land anyway. They've been taking care of it all these generations. And you come along, say they can't have it, take it from them, and then you can't keep it up.
I understand it too. Most of the time, they're not just sitting idly on the land. They're producing beef to feed people.
Right. Or grazing for cattle, all kinds of stuff. Deer hunting, whatever it may be, elk hunting, whatever they're doing, where they're at. You know, um, it's just hypocrisy, more hypocrisy of government. And if the government's big, you're treated small. If you're big, government comes in and says, "Oh no, you can't have that." They thumb you down, knock you down, and treat you like a criminal. They make up rules and laws and throw you off, and it's just crazy. And let's get back to the gun control thing, though. Let's get back to this little deal. she, I mean, ever since her and Bill have been holding hands and running through the flowers and the trees, and all and picking up daffodils and I love you and I love you not, you love me not stuff, while they're killing people like Vince Foster and everybody else around them, and causing Troopergate and all this other crazy mess going on, we're all like, oh, Hillary's such a wonderful person. Really? Have y'all even read about her history and what she's done in this country? Again, back to if I had done something or Dr. No here had done something like that, they'd already done hung us someplace or, killed us by firing squad or executed us by lethal injection and for some of the things these people get away with. So why are we letting these people tell us what to do about our guns? Why are we allowing that to happen? It's you people, you the American people, you. Why are you allowing this to happen to this country? Your country, your children's country. Why are you allowing this stupidity to continue? Why? Do something about it. Do something about it. Just don't this just make this makes you want to just scream when you hear and see some of the stuff that goes on with these people. It's just crazy. Anyway, that was an article in the NRA's America's First Freedom, website, .org. It was written by Marshall Lewin. Good article. I give him kudos for it. I just wanted to throw that one on top of everything. Let y'all see it. Um, but uh, this stuff just blows my mind, folks. It just blows my mind. It just blows my mind. Doctor No, your thoughts on Hillary Clinton and her audacity.
Wow, that could be a show all by itself.
Maybe so. People write in if you want Doctor No to have his own show talking about Hillary Clinton and her gun control idiocies. Please, please let me know. We'll set him up. Don't worry, we'll put a sock over your head. Nobody will know who you are.
Uh, it all gets down to like the bottom line, the final wash. The right to self-defense is just an inalienable right. The Constitution does not give that to us. It is inalienable. The Constitution affirms that right. Like, once again, disarming law-abiding citizens does nothing but enable the bad guys. It's frequently said, well, using Australia example, supposedly there were like fewer gun crimes there because of banning guns. But crime itself went up. If you ban guns, there'll be fewer shootings. If you ban knives, there'll be fewer stabbings. You ban cars, there'll be fewer DWIs. You ban jawbreakers, fewer kids will choke to death. The crime has still gone up, as I understand it. And again, it was crimes against people who had been disarmed.
Now let's look at that thought process. Chicago, Illinois,
Crime capital of the country.
and why is that?
As I understand it, it is almost impossible to legally get a firearm for most people in Chicago.
Exactly. What part of that do you idiots not understand who run this country and say, "Oh, guns are bad"? Where does that fall into? Come on.
Well, I've seen firearms before. I've been around firearms, and I have yet to see a single one act on its own.
That's true. I swear to God, I got pistols, I got shotguns, I got rifles, and ain't never not a one of them ever gone off unless I pull the trigger myself on one of them,
They
or
do not think.
no. In fact, I will though say one thing: my guns, my rifles, they think they got more brain cell matter than Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama combined. There's more brain matter, you know, packed in between every molecule of steel on my rifle than there is probably in most of the federal government right now when it comes to this gun control thought process. What about the gun's rights? Don't it have rights too? Think about it. I never thought about that. And let's just use this one as a good example to be stupid in understanding how they think. Liberals think, oh, they can't have guns. They're going to hurt somebody. Well, what about the poor gun? What do you think it feels? How do you think it feels and how it thinks? Do you think that that gun feels like it's been alienated and it's being accosted pretty much by everybody wanting to destroy all guns? And I mean, what about you? If you was a gun, wouldn't you like to be treated with fairness and have your own rights to survive and have a family? I mean, that poor gun, it's sitting out there all alone, at that gun shop and got nobody. And you bring them home, make them part of your family, and it helps feed the family. It helps protect the family. My God, it's like your dog, pretty much, when you think about it like that. And why would you want to treat it different than the rest of your family? You know, I mean, think about it like that. Now let's look at the other. Let's flip it over, Mrs. Liberal. You got some kids. Do you want to feed them and take care of them? Do you want to protect them? Do you want to make sure that they're safe every day? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? I don't hear anything. They ain't got no answer to that. They have no answer, do you? No. No, you don't have that answer. And you never will. You never will have that answer because y'all can't think on a higher level than stupidity. Sorry, it's true. I just feel this way and I'm not going to change my mind about it. But that's my opinion and I'm going to stick to it to an extent. But let's see. Time. Oh, yeah. I like 30 minutes and we'll be done with this broadcast. So we're not doing too bad tonight. Let's look at some. Let's see here. I got so many things on here, all kinds of stuff. Like Superman, this is something you to be right up your alley. Okay, no matter who you are, you know, it's. I think it's worth thinking about and mentioning. So let's bring it up. Right here. Alrighty, let's drop this. I really mean it. Tell him to kiss it where the sun don't shine. I really do mean it. Just tell him. Because we're not going to make it in America if we don't. We're not. Let's take up what that city there in Georgia has decided to do and proclaim for themselves and take up the banner of freedom and fight for your rights to keep and bear arms, son. Do it today, okay? And with that, I'm going to say adieu for tonight. Dr. No, I do appreciate you coming in, putting up with my rant.
Have a good evening.
All right, I need y'all to help me out. Like I said, anybody out there knows anything about this OBS, give me a email, info@planethoax.com. Say, hey, I know what I can do to help you. And I'll sit there and communicate with you and figure it out. But, I need to fix this stuff. I'm running on Extreme tonight, and I hate it. I don't like it too much right now the way it is. But anyway, folks, don't forget, there's a war going on to enslave you, and this internet's teaching you how, and it's also helping you become enslaved too if you ain't watching what you're doing. And you tell your congressman today, you say no to gun control. And I'll see you next broadcast. Take care now, you hear? Thanks for watching PlanetHoax.com. Subscribe, like, and comment on YouTube and Facebook. And remember, there is a war going on to enslave you.